of discovery into your personal story? Rising of the Origins is a free 3-day immersion starting October 18th, 2022. Day 1, setting the stage. Discover how to utilize the elements to set your foundation, calling in an elemental being for protection, being centered, open, and closing space. Day 2, gift and purpose. Merging with the elements, we can discover our gift and our purpose, releasing what no longer serves us, recognizing our authentic self, being a conduit by connecting to our higher self, our Sira, and more. Day 3, connecting the subtle and the elemental, the energetic centers, the elemental realm as doorways, gathering information on the highway, working with the centers to figure out the elements that creates our current threads. Being able to log in here at club.tanyad.tv/login and watch the replays, explore the goodies inside your own personal library. My wish for you is that through each day you awaken the spirit that resides within you. Through seeing yourself with vital eyes, life transforms, passions ignited through the information superhighway, awakening the spirit. Save your spot and activate your portal at club.tanyad.tv/rise, and I will see you
on the other side. Inshallah and Ashe. It's a talented Tuesday, and I've added a few pages to the show today. So how was your peaceful, easy feeling? The Eagles were playing yesterday. And today we have Sandalphon on the line, merging our thoughts and our feelings about the future threading of life being confirmed by our intuitive gifts and actually our psychic abilities. The chapter of our relationship story is actually transforming for, I would say, out into our future path, streaming into the future realms. The psychic streams that we may be receiving today, these signs and sigils, they're really the key to access this part of our spidey senses to get some guidance. So streaming to the heart today, that's their purpose, gift and purpose. So I hope you began the day with a spiritual practice or an exercise, possibly a divination, elevating our meditative state. This inspiritedness should be streaming through us all day long today. So if you're feeling like your thoughts are clouded or muddled up, go back to those streams. Staying heart-centric, choose wisely, and affirm your relationship options. So being in the streams of grace aligned with our fabric of destiny, fate is harmonizing and balancing these threads. So it's like, are we open to receive a new fated relationship? You know, I do have an opportunity coming soon, an adventure into the unknown. You can find it at tanyad.tv. Scroll to the bottom of that first page and you will see it there. But with that, welcome to today's Daily Snippet. Once again, I am your host. I'm a practicing holistic shaman and medium, an otherworldly life coach, and a subtle energetic surgeon. But I do go by the term holistic Sha medium, which is a merging of it all, coined by my friend Rich in Mongolia in 2018. But my intention is to utilize these indigenous technologies along with the elemental realms, our original divine blueprint to navigate our soul's harmonic through these realms, elemental into the imaginal, into and through the shaman's portal, the gateway there, the mystic and the magical, the 8th energetic center above our crown, the subtle realms, and really so much more, with offerings, prescriptions, and rituals, the otherworldly kind, to really add to the juice, the sauce of our ingredients, our personal container within those ingredients. Excuse me, but it's our personal medicine. And ritual is really food for the soul. It's our prime directive. So really just assisting you in discovering your own personal medicine, that inner genius, the starlight that I believe we all are. Really reintroducing you to the magical being, that starlight that resides within. So you do shine a lot brighter. And again, my name is Tanya D, and welcome to my virtual medicine room. And if you have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. YouTube or otherwise. I have quite a few, right? Tanya D on YouTube and my Musing with Tanya D podcast, the Otherworldly Insight season. That's the title for 2022. I'm kind of musing about 2023, but it's out for your musing pleasure. We have the season of Libra with Venus in the house. This is exploring our ability to open up and receive and accept spiritual truths, the hearing sister, clairaudience, subtle energy gifts. But let's also give a big shout out to the community, the online village, new subscribers, and Also, those of you that have been a part of my journey since the very beginning, grateful for you as well. And also, if you don't mind, hitting the bell button if you're on YouTube so you are notified. And remember, a comment, a share does get you a message for your day to actually get you on your way. And it really does help with the algorithm, echoing it to out into the galactic universe. With insights of the other world, the world of spirit, the subtle energies, also called the chakras, the elemental realm, source, the cosmos, astrology, and so much more. But you can also find me on other social channels, TikTok, Instagram, and of course, Facebook, with other insights. However, if your soul is nudging you, possibly dragging you, often kicking and screaming, to dive on deeper into the realms of the other world, head on over to my Musing Corridor. This is my digital library in the sky, where I have a venue of some amazing opportunities and options to assist you, to guide you, along with a private sacred circle, a community, a village to utilize as well. I am your otherworldly shamanic assistant. You truly are your own healer, but sometimes we do have energetic hiccups and we need an otherworldly life coach to assist us to get us out of our own way. With that, just a few announcements if you're streaming in today. Let me get my little cards out here. Just a few announcements. These are our options for the messages. We've got elemental fire. We've got drumming, which I should bring out my drum. And we also have nature, a pathway out in nature, maybe taking a new pathway coming up. But with that, just a few announcements. The early bird opportunity to invest in yourself. The door is open to utilize your intuitive gifts and your psychic abilities. The energy world, merging the intuitive energy, the spirit realm to the physical, to the body, and so much more. Energy to matter, or spirit to be embodied, bringing spirit to matter. Change your stars was coined, or at least it's there to activate on the energetic highway, the star that we uniquely are inside our vessel. So when we begin to merge the energy body, the subtle energetic bodies and fields and pathways with our physical and our soul, we then become the being that resides within us, the star of who we are, who we're meant to be. I think we all have our spiritual walk of fame, just saying. But this investment is at the angelic numbers of 999. All of my investments are angelic numbers derived from greater spirit here. And also we have the rising of the origins. In May of this year, I did a 5-day immersion back to back, but today we start our 3-day immersion, streaming in at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. In Rising of the Origins, my Facebook group. It's a private group. Check your local time zone to see where I am going live in your area, in your village. So it'll be tonight or later today, and then on Thursday, and again next Tuesday. So be sure to join the Rising of the Origins on Facebook. It's a private society to be part of this immersion. The link is actually in the show notes for that. And there's also a gallery there with gifts, inspirational gifts. And the Scorpio season podcast also is going to be launching on Monday. Can you even believe we're in the season of Scorpio? We're heading that way, along with the new moon in the season of Pluto, which is also Scorpio's prime directive, an eclipse new moon meditation. And of course, I have some otherworldly musing news percolating because I don't have enough going on, obviously. So in the oven, there is something percolating coming soon. I do have a wait list if you have yet to check out my website, tanyad.tv. Be sure to give it a little peek. And the universe is aligning our spiritual destiny, the fabric of receiving the harmonics of fate. What does that even feel like? What does that even mean? So we have these cosmic planets coming off of holiday, known as retrogrades, planetary holidays. They're skipping stones. Maybe they're leaving some breadcrumbs. But my wish for you is that your relationships have literally been spiritually growing, sensing some spiritual growth, intuition, connection, possibly organic and just natural today. Our crown is literally on fire. That's why we have fire as our little option up there, or at least, we've got the balancing of the whispering of the winds of air. So spirituality, it's deeper subconscious feelings, these undefined messages are being experienced. It may feel foggy, random, unknown, even disorganized. The energy may just feel that way. And again, meditation. Any spiritual practice or exercise would have been really a magical way to start your day, even dream space. Moving meditation is what I would be doing, or the dream state, walking or slumbering. That seems to be where my directives come in. But I do cover dream states within Change Your Stars. And in doing the work, it really assists us to ground the energy in our body. We always have to do the work. So the rising of the origins, again, setting the stage is today at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. So that is our energetic foundations. So our day is kind of a spiritual inauguration in relation to our relationships, the long-term future of those relationships with ourselves and out into the world. So what does that feel or even look like? You may be actually wondering or asking. So there's a deeper meaning that may come to an understanding behind what you may be experiencing in your day-to-day relationships, relationships to a partner, a job, an act of service, your career, your home. Doesn't really matter, even your family, your kids. So you may discover that there's this repeated energetic pattern that your soul has been enduring for many lifetimes, incarnations, or even just this timeline. So it's like, what's on the docket? It really is about reflection. Libra is about reflecting, looking in the mirror, looking at you, looking at me. It's a reflection on what we reflect on, along with forgiveness of those relationship situations that you're really ready to move into the future without. Streaming them behind, they're no longer serving who we once are. And in doing so, we no longer are looking in that rearview mirror. So this is going to allow that growth, that spiritual growth in the section of our relationships. So really become consciously aware of this next cycle coming into your life. So with our intuitive gifts and our psychic abilities on a higher octave today, I mean, sometimes my bones rattle. It's like, wake up. So there's this strong possibility, it may be even intense. It's a day to consult our guardians, our gatekeepers, the Great Spirit, the guardians of your personal medicine, your higher self, your Sira, on how to move forward in those future relationship threads. So you may sense a relationship literally coming to a close, having closure, or maybe you become magnetically attracted to a relationship that just feels right for your future. So the guidance comes from our intuitive gifts and the guidance of the otherworldly assets, the beings there. So really utilize them to assist you in your life on what path to take. That's why we've got nature up there. Or the step to take, just allowing forgiveness to really stream, cleansing those relationships that you're ready to let go of. The angelic being Sandalphon, or the angelic being of Scorpio, Jeremiah, or even bring in Jophiel for the beauty of the relationship, seeing the beauty of why you had that relationship that you're letting go of in the first place. There's always memos and messages in there. So on the energetic highway, or the elemental anyway, we do have a fabulous day happening. It's a Yangwood dragon of a day, the Jaya Chen. And all that earth, you know, I feel as if I am being buried. I'm losing my starlight. This mountain range of earth energy, you know, there's a lot of secrets hidden in the mountain, but the nature dragon, a green dragon, this is like out into the woods. It kind of reminds me of a gecko or a lizard or something, but it's a very yang day. There's yang everywhere. There's no yin hardly at all, just some hidden, but our very yang outward energy day. So we need to soothe this yang energy. So it really is a day to go inward, soliciting our inner solitude. At the hour of the rabbit, we have what's called a wood direction. And at the hour of the horse, a fire trine. So this is activation and taking action, our visions, our dream states, putting them into play. But our day is weak, the Yangwood, because the earth is dry. So our day is weak because the roots, this is a tree. So the yang wood, it gets cut and turned into something useful with the yang metal right next door. So it's kind of cracking like whips and chains. However, it shouldn't be too dry. We do need yin water. That's the most needed element, a resource for our day. And the yang metal, that's also useful to cut down the tree, trim the tree, but it does need yin fire to support it, forge it into something useful. That's how these elementals do a dance. It just keeps the metal blades sharp to do the preening. But being that we do have a mountain range with the dragon and the dog there, they're not in conflict, but however, But the tiger is also useful to keep the earth loose and controlled. It really is a wealth aspect. The earth to a yang wood person or our day, that's wealth. It's unforeseen wealth. It could also be debt as well, the opposing force, debt and being indebted, the opposing force to unbecoming wealth. So just remember, this is like very prime directive here. Yang wood is a very sensitive element when it comes to elemental support. A yang wood person or a day needs a lot of conditions to function properly and optimally, to have visions and ideas, so it's not clouded. You know, imagine a tree. A tree needs the sun for warmth. It needs water for nutrition, and strong earth, which we have for stability, and also strong metal to provide regular trimming or pruning of the elementals. So often people feel like a yang wood person isn't doing a damn thing, but a tree has a very important function. It's providing oxygen. So often that when a tree goes unnoticed, a lot of times to those who don't look or observe them carefully. And once they're gone, these people are greatly missed, because you do recognize what they're doing for the village. But our day does need metal for some nice pruning and trimming of the trees, preparing for the winter, shedding of the old skin, getting ready to go into hibernation, the whole world in there. But our wood is dry, so fire would really take over. We only need a candle, yin fire, to forge our metal into that useful tool. But metal, mineral, and air, clairaudience may be of a higher frequency channel with the energy of the day, the cosmic, the elemental, and the season of Libra. Our neighboring god streaming in on the month with the yang metal and the dog. These change every day, by the way. It's charismatic. We need fire. It's a highly charismatic day, by the way. It's high excelling in the frequency. So our day, it's a great day to become magically famous in our village, our neighborhood, effortlessly. And things may actually appear that way. And on the year, we have the poet. So any poets out there? It's of a moderate frequency. I'm not really a poet, I could say that. It's a very sensitive day, out into the year, out into the field. Internationally, that's kind of where this god comes from. But it's expressing our emotional field, ballads and songs, expressing that poetry. So it's kind of this charismatic poetic kind of day, or poetry that's charismatic. It's inviting things in. So that's pretty curious out there. And then let's go back to our messages. These are your options. Comment your choice. I kind of am feeling the drum. You know, I do have a fire drum, so I don't know. I'd probably take in all the elements. But I'm a yang wood day master myself, so I do need that. Oh, hang on. I got stuff in the way, so I can't get to my messages. So first of all, I must say that I feel like the messages today are kind of a collective message, but you do what resonates for you and with you. So first up, I'm going to go with the nature pathway. So if you chose the nature pathway, you get the high sage. Look at this magical card. I don't use this a lot, but this is higher believing. It's higher philosophy. It's learning, understanding. So with Jupiter in the season of Mars, this is initiating a new action in our beliefs, our story, our wishes. I would even say our dreams. And we know it's a knowing, it's intuition, it is dreaming. That's kind of funny. And we've got all the phases of the moon sitting there, being a reflector. I follow the moon quite regularly. I don't share all that insight. However, the high sage, this is dominion over all things mystical and magical. It's the watery space of our intuition with the moon. It's the subconscious. It's the divine calling us to come closer. So the message here is indicating that diving deeper will be huge transformation. And as spiritual beings, we have this ability to move between both worlds. But in our dense physical world, many of us default into that logic paradigm. So this is not the place for us right now. This is all about the spiritual realms, which is the energy of today. It's going to serve us far more better if we, at the moment, we kind of prioritize our relationships with all the beings of the spirit realm, the elemental realm that you may be working with. So it's a message of really encouraging us to reclaim the wisdom of the origin that lives within us. I cannot believe I pulled these cards, launching the rising of the origins once again. But it's also a reminder that it's not a time for decisions or making moves. That actually comes tomorrow. That's the frequency of tomorrow's energy. So really go within. We do need to go inward. We've got a lot of yang energy, and find that inner stillness. Be in your luminal or your liminal in your body, the fields, and with your heart space. So it really is a great day for magical meditation, journeying, writing, automatic writing, ritual, and actually moving between the realms. It's a high octave spiritual messenger kind of a day, and the veil is beginning to thin. If you've noticed, I can feel that myself. But following the sage, I got to move my coffee now. Things are all over my desk. Okay, if you chose the fire, you've got, this is the Sovereign of Swords. What a beautiful card too, right? The butterfly at the top. We've got 2 roses. We have some angel wings. And we've got some crescents of the moon there. I don't know if you can see them. We've got some sigils, it looks like. But they got also, I would call that sword Excalibur. That's the guardian of my galaxy, my gatekeeper. That's what I use. That's what comes in for me. But this is the queen's intellect. So we go from this high sage, the priestess, to this intellect of the queen. So this is strength. It's independence. It's being evolved and wise. Maybe you've spent a variety, many years, timelines and all, understanding and healing yourself, inner wounds. So these insights come second to none. You're always saying and sharing what people need to hear, but it may not be what we want to hear. But being that, etherically, maybe you do understand energetically the emotional realm, but you're actually more plugged into the mental realm, the mental clarity. So just seeing what is going on within you. This can really assist to process things, to solve them, to be a solution. It's not really soft and fluffy or nurturing. This is a person who we can go to when we actually want to change rather than to talk about the change. This is the one that's going to go at you hard and go at you deep, cutting down, getting to the spiritual truths that you maybe don't want to hear. But the Sovereign of Swords is all about that truth, those spiritual truths. That's the sword. So that's what makes them excellent at shifting through emotional responses, which are often biased, right? So really getting to the heart of the matter, the sword. They don't approach things with an attachment to an outcome, simply to find the authentic truth. They integrate lessons more easily because they are not as stuck in the feeling of things. So the magic is in the messenger, right? So this is an invitation to separate our feelings from our facts and approach things in a more unbiased way. It's about creating those boundaries, energetic ones possibly. And it also may be a message to work or a calling to really create boundaries, working on our boundaries, and having an understanding that there are many ways to nurture that inner child within us as well. So kind of interesting. I can't believe I pulled all these cards today. And last but not least, if you chose the fire. Did I say fire? I don't think I said fire. Or did I say drum? I don't know. I apologize about that. Sometimes I get ahead of my brain. But the 8 of Cups. And did you notice that they were all in the realm? No other worldlies today. But the 8, this is an incision in consciousness. This is the infinite. Letting go of what no longer serves us, building a new foundation, no longer fearing the future. Saturn's in Aquarius, the hall of energy, rebuilding our day-to-day structure. In the other realms, a higher octave of dimensional transformation. And the moon is in Leo, by the way. I should have said that before. But I say that now because we have the cups, which is our emotional realm, the moon, with an eye within the sun or the shining moon, the goddess of the night. We have options. And again, the Musing Moon meditation is going to be out soon, so I'm stoked about that. So there's so much meaning. I mean, I feel as if life was slowing down for like a split second. Mars is about to go on holiday as well. But the 8 of Cups, this is water. It's also our intuition. So it goes back to that high sage. Relationships, it's healing. Our subconscious, even that connection to that realm. But this is a message of abandonment. It's walking away, the sword, cutting through our emotions. It's loss, but it's also on the other side of the coin. we perceive things as a loss, but it's a promise of a new future. There's always magic on the other side of fear. So most likely the loss has come from a choice of our own inner doing. Maybe you've had a self-realization that you have to say goodbye to a lot of those relationships, but it's still better to walk away than actually to stay. But this could also mean that despite accomplishing everything that you may have wanted, maybe you're not as fulfilled with it as you thought you may or might have been. Maybe you're realizing that you do need to shift and change directions to find inner peace as well. So just know you possibly are headed for the unknown, but you're also confident. You've got self-esteem. You're on fire. I should have went with fire. You're going to be able to make it all work out. And you possibly have already made this decision, this commitment. So it's a message to acknowledge. It's acknowledging that this is the right move. So if you have been in a space of what do I do? This is a message of being encouraged to really embrace the unknown, that watery abyss, and the path you know that you need to go on to take it deep down. Go on that path. Decisions of the emotional watery tides. So lots of great messages today. So hopefully you are well aware. The more open we are, the more our senses can inform us through a plethora of multiple forms of communication, the swords. But this is an era of fresh air. The universe, God universe, the ancestors, the great spirit, always has more in the galactic juicy store for us in those cabinets. Meditation and prayer. So praying is the conversation where we get to ask the universe, and meditation is the voice or the language of listening. So it's like, are we heavenly aware of how many or all of our relationships, how they have shifted over the last 30 days with so many planets off on holiday, and even the changes over the last few years? So I would be calling in the universe, asking questions to gain insight into any and all relations, all my relations. I'm always thinking of Sweat Lodge when I think of relations, but you feel possibly that you may need some assistance to heal and to forgive, to let go of. So just really close your eyes, moving into your sacred space, opening your heart, the chalice to receive. And again, journaling, automatic writing, insights and answers just streaming in, allowing the element of air, the whispering of the wind, to whisk away gently any of those limiting thoughts or self-limiting affirmations and come out brighter and lighter. It's ready. It's a day to ascend to new relations, a new way of relating. And we are still in support or being supported by Source, the universe, the great spirit, an ancestor even. So to bring together the yin and the yang aspects of our divine selves through our feelings and those whisperings in the winds, stay heart-centered in the core of your heart, the chalice. There is a spiritual benefactor. There's a greater sense from this relationship that you are creating. Hopefully you have that connection. So with our crown online, the spiritual connection, and the Ong channel, Ong, and the Hom, our spiritual truths, self-expression, self-imagery even, how we see ourselves when we look in the mirror, along with our sacral, our emotional empathy, and our heart space, our relational center. The element of metal. Now, all the sounds are in the show notes, by the way. So pick your magic sauce. Come from a sacred space, the zone of neutrality, listening to those higher messages, those voices, connecting to your higher self, your Sira, what we look like in the other world. So it's a magical day to release and forgive the past, ourself and others. So we have this connection to the future, also called the Merlin effect. That's also in Change Your Stars, by the way, the Merlin effect. I was thinking, put your left hand on your heart, or do both, and accepting and receiving, releasing and connecting, being in prayer pose. An affirmation I would say is, I am loving and trusting my inner GPS, my spiritual guidance about where my future threads are heading. And again, the rising of the origins, that kickoff is today. It's in my private group. So if you are in that container, the link is also in the show notes. So it's going to be starting with setting our elemental foundation, setting the stage. And I do, again, have Change Your Stars in the venue. It's at a limited time investment. These kind of go side by side as a sidekick. So thanks for tuning in. That was not too galactic long, so that was a blessing, right? So yeah, 30 minutes, not too crazy. So with all of that, I'll see you later today, 3 p.m. in Rising of the Origins. And as always, I'll see you on the other side. Ashe. Blessings.
Awaken the spirit that resides in you. Are you ready to take the path of discovery into your personal story? Rising of the Origins is a free 3-day immersion starting October 18th, 2022. Day 1, setting the stage. Discover how to utilize the elements to set your foundation, calling in an elemental being for protection, being centered, open, and closing space. Day 2, gift and purpose. Merging with the elements, we can discover our gift and our purpose, releasing what no longer serves us, recognizing our authentic self, being a conduit by connecting to our higher self, our Sira, and more. Day 3, connecting the subtle and the elemental, the energetic centers, the elemental realm as doorways, gathering information on the highway, working with the centers to figure out the elements that creates our current threads. Being able to log in here at club.tanyad.tv/login and watch the replays, explore the goodies inside your own personal library. My wish for you is that through each day you awaken the spirit that resides within you. Through seeing yourself with vital eyes, life transforms, passions ignited through the information superhighway, awakening the spirit. Save your spot and activate your portal at club.tanyad.tv/rise, and I will see you